How to write a great script and raise $1 million, then watch as that $1 million disappears. So I've been asked to make a video blog, an open and honest discussion of my experiences making Moonpoint, complete with all the trials and tribulations, blood, sweat, and tears that go into making a true indie film in Canada. So here I go. Before there's any talk of money and financing, it all starts with the script. And I worked with this great writer, Rob Lazar, a friend from university, who delivered a very sweet script with odd characters and bizarre humor, and I loved it on first read. I mean, Rob's a great writer.
My dad says you're a parasite. He says you're a parasite because you don't have a job. Why don't you even have a job?
Aren't you?
I do. I'm a ninja.
So bingo, done. Finished with the script, happy. Then I met with a number of distributors who all had nice things to say. Some even met with me more than once, which I really appreciated, and gave good story advice, some of which we actually used. But in the end, I had a lot of letters of interest from distributors, but no distribution advance, which is that small portion they these days untypically give to a filmmaker in exchange for future royalties. So next step is to take that script and apply for public and private funding. So who did I go to for funding? Well, the first logical spot is our national funding source, Telefilm Canada. However, I was bringing a script that was really cool and hip to an organization who simply didn't get it. Rejected.
That's okay.
So with a little seed money I had from a company I worked for, I started applying for any other funding I could get my hands on. The first to say yes was the Northern Ontario Heritage Fund, and then the Northern Ontario Media Fund, because we were going to shoot up in Sudbury, Ontario. Then I was lucky enough to convince a private investor to put in some funds, and I got a small video distribution advance. And then with federal and provincial tax credits on the production, all I had left to raise was about $150,000, and I could shoot the movie. So with all that financing in place and a solid grassroots distribution plan, I went to the OMDC to beg for that last piece of the puzzle.
Please, sir.
What? Nope. So I bit the bullet and went back to Telefilm, and I told them how I raised $950,000 on my own, and all I needed was a small little chunk to help greenlight the project. I knew there was no way they could turn me down, and then...
There are problems with the script. We just can't support this project. We gave the money to other stronger projects.
So with all that consistent rejection, all that money I raised went from $950,000 to nothing. So next week I'll tell you how we made the film for literally next to nothing, and how that little film was able to secure a distribution deal and be seen in festivals and theaters across the country.